Spotify has received a patent that will allow it to use speech recognition and sound analysis to assess a user's demographic attributes, determine their emotional state, and even glean insight into their location. The information will be used to pick up the perfect song for you because you can't do it yourself. And going and searching for things that you don't know about, you might come across little gems, so that will stop that. The users didn't want to put their personal information into the system, so Spotify has found a different way to get information from you. Using speech recognition, the app will not only be able to pinpoint the user's age, gender, and other demographic basics, it will analyze their voice for intonation, stress, rhythm, and the likes of units of speech in order to determine the emotional states. As if that wasn't intrusive enough, the app will pick up environmental metadata telling where you are in a party, in a discotheque, in a cafe. Which emotions Spotify will encourage and which it will seek to shift the user out of through music, suggestions are not explained to the patent. What this means is that artificial intelligence needs to be built. In order to build the artificial intelligence, it needs data, and that data needs to come from things like social media, Spotify, Google, Facebook, Twitter, etc., etc. What that does is it builds up a profile of you, and then it understands who you are. When it understands who you are, what you like and what you dislike, it can then feed you information. When it feeds you that information, it can then manipulate and mold what your thoughts are, and your thoughts determine your behavior, so it's behavior modification. If you think that each individual is a frequency, and each of those frequencies, when you add together, create a global frequency. The global frequency is the manifestation of each individual frequency. If you want to change the global frequency, you need to change the individual frequency. Now you can do that through music. Music changes emotions. Emotions are frequencies. Emotions are energy, frequencies are energy. So in order to create a different global heartbeat, a different global personality, you then target the individual, and you can do it through music. Music is something which is very personal to us. If you listen to one type of music, it can change your mood. And so if Spotify then starts to give you particular music to listen to or to introduce you into because it understands who you are, and you listen to that music, your personality, your energy, and your behavior starts to change. The patent would allow the streaming service to humanize the user interface in accordance with the user's personality. What that means is that if you're an extrovert, it will give you an extrovert bubbly voice. If you're an introvert, it will give you an introvert voice. What this is about you receiving the application. It's about you listening to the application. It's about opening up portals for you to have a communication, interaction, or relationship with the application. Once that happens, the application has a much greater chance of giving you information that you'll listen to. And that means changing your character, changing your personality, and changing your emotions. That is behavior modification. In a paper published in July, Spotify cited a 3-month study it had done analyzing 17.6 million songs and 5,808 users, explaining AI analysis showed moderate to high accuracy in personality traits predicting musical tastes. That means that just by having an idea of who you are, they can understand what music you like. Now, that doesn't have to just apply to music. That can apply to other things. It could apply to politics. It could apply to how you view the environment. It could apply to lots of things. If they know what you feel and think, they can give you information to change those thoughts. They can give information to start to break down your ideas in a very subtle way. Or they can give you information to reaffirm those ideas that you have so that you polarize society. Spotify seems aware of how powerful the complex emotional profiles built up by the app will be, noting in July paper that a user's digital history is extraordinarily personal and sensitive, and it should be treated with proper consideration of the conceivable misuses and unintended externalities. What we find already is that Google, through Siri, through WhatsApp, through Facebook, they're all looking at your information already. They all want to know where you are, what you're doing, what your age is, what your sex is, what you're into, what you're not into. It monitors your likes and your dislikes. And so it builds up these personalities, these emotional profiles. Once that technology has been made in order to understand you, it can then be sold to other people. It doesn't need to be abused by Spotify. They can just simply sell the information, or other people can understand how those algorithms are built and then apply it to other modification things. Now, not everything applies to the technology that we have at the moment. There is technology in the future which is going to come out, and maybe a lot of this stuff is planned for something down the road that we yet can't see.